Love him or hate him, Max Verstappen is the maverick of the F1 world who has left his opponents not just in the dust, but also in a state of utter humiliation. With his razor-sharp driving skills and unwavering determination, Verstappen has repeatedly proven why he is a force to be reckoned with. Let's take a look at 10 times Verstappen humiliated his opponents. 10. Max vs Charles Leclerc in the 2022 Miami Grand Prix. In a dazzling display of driving mastery, Max Verstappen dominated the 2022 F1 season. And Miami Grand Prix was no exception. After 57 adrenaline-fueled laps, Verstappen triumphantly achieved his goal in Miami by beating Ferrari Charles Leclerc in the final moment of the Miami Grand Prix. This marked Verstappen's second consecutive win, coming just a few weeks after his thrilling victory at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Italy. Verstappen's remarkable driving skills were on full display as he executed a brilliant maneuver to leapfrog Charles Leclerc with his signature inside turn shortly before the last bend. His superior driving ability allowed him to outmaneuver and outrun Leclerc, leaving his opponent in the dust and securing his position as one of the most talented drivers in the world. The victory was a classic and dramatic moment for Verstappen, who once again proved that he is the prolific driver he claims to be. But for Charles Leclerc, it was a humiliating defeat that left him reeling. 9. Max Verstappen humiliated Hamilton in Brazil Grand Prix in 2019. When it comes to Max Verstappen's driving style, admiration is an understatement. The 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix was a true showcase of Verstappen's incredible talent as he overtook the legendary Lewis Hamilton in a breathtaking moment that left fans around the world in awe. Despite Hamilton's attempts to reclaim the lead, Verstappen's power and skill proved to be too much for the then six-time world champion. The race was a nail-biting thrill ride from start to finish, with Hamilton, Leclerc and Gasly all battling it out for second and third place. But it was Verstappen who ultimately emerged victorious, claiming his 8th career win at the Brazilian Grand Prix. As the final laps approached, Verstappen maintained almost perfect control of the race in Sao Paulo. It was clear that he was a force to be reckoned with on the track, and his victory at Interlagos was a testament to his exceptional driving ability. 8. Max Verstappen vs Daniel Ricciardo in the 2017 Chinese Grand Prix. Max Verstappen's performance at the 2017 Chinese Grand Prix was nothing short of remarkable after engine trouble in qualifying forced him to start the race in 16th place. Verstappen made a stunning start that many consider to be one of the finest in the history of Formula 1. He used the inclement weather conditions to his advantage, moving up an incredible 9 spots in the first lap alone, a feat that will go down in F1 history. Verstappen continued his charge and had reached 3rd place by lap 8, leaving his rivals in awe of his incredible skills on the track. The intense rivalry between Verstappen and his teammate Daniel Ricciardo lasted for 5 heart-pumping laps, with Ricciardo following him closely, trying to find a way to defeat him. But Verstappen's sheer power and skill proved to be too much for his teammate to handle, and he eventually pulled ahead. Verstappen not only secured a well-deserved 3rd place finish behind Hamilton and Vettel, but he also humiliated his teammate and demonstrated his superior defensive abilities. 7. Max Verstappen defends against Hamilton in the 2018 United States Grand Prix. The 2018 US Grand Prix was one for the books, with Max Verstappen stealing the show and Hamilton not quite able to catch up. Max's race was a masterclass in overtaking and strategic driving. He quickly worked his way up the field and put himself in a position to contend for the win. When he found himself behind Raikkonen, he kept up the pressure and never let up, forcing the Ferrari driver to constantly defend. With Hamilton quickly closing in, Max managed to hold him off with some impressive defensive driving. It was a brilliant display of skill, showcasing Max's ability to attack and defend with equal prowess. By the end of the race, Max had secured a well-deserved 2nd place finish, proving once again why he's considered one of the most talented drivers in the sport. Hamilton certainly won't forget the challenge that Max posed on that day. 6. Max defending Charles Leclerc in the 2019 Austrian Grand Prix. After a disappointing start to the 2019 Austrian Grand Prix, Max found himself languishing in 9th place, seemingly out of contention. But Max is not one to give up, and he fought his way back into the race. With his trademark quick passes and daring maneuvers, he made his way up the field, overtaking both Bottas and Vettel to reach 4th place. With just a handful of laps remaining, it looked as though he might not have enough time to catch the leaders. However, Max had other ideas. With 2 laps to go, he made a stunning move to the lead from Charles Leclerc, crossing the finish line in 1st place for his 6th victory. This was an incredible display of skill, determination, and sheer talent, and it's no wonder that Max Verstappen is one of the most exciting drivers in Formula 1 today. 5. Max humiliated Bottas in the 2020 70th Anniversary Grand Prix. The 2020 season began with Mercedes dominating the first 4 races, leaving little hope for the other teams to clinch a victory. However, Max Verstappen had other plans for the second half of the Silverstone doubleheader. Despite his team's advice to maintain his tyres, Max sensed an opportunity in the 70th Grand Prix and seized it. He put pressure on both Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas to pit early, allowing him to re-enter the race right behind Bottas on fresher tyres. Max stretched his stint by almost twice the length of his opponents while still maintaining an impressive pace. It was a brilliant display of planning and tyre management that enabled the Red Bull driver to overtake Bottas and secure the victory. Although Max is known for his lightning-fast driving and thrilling overtakes, this particular win showcased his strategic thinking and ability to execute a well-planned race. 4. Max Verstappen humiliates Bottas in the 2021 Dutch Grand Prix. With a perfect blend of grit, speed and cunning, Max Verstappen raced his way to an unforgettable victory at his home Grand Prix. The Dutchman was simply sensational on the 30th lap when he pulled off an audacious overtaking move on Valtteri Bottas, surging past the Finn with an expertly timed inside turn that left Bottas in his wake. For the Orange Army, it was an exhilarating moment, a celebration of a homegrown hero who had just proven himself as one of the sport's finest drivers. And while the win may not have been the most thrilling of his career, it was undoubtedly one of the most stunning, showcasing Verstappen's remarkable ability to thrive under pressure and rise to the occasion when it mattered most. 3. Max vs Sergio Perez in 2022 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Just when you thought he couldn't possibly outdo himself, Max Verstappen, the enigmatic Formula One superstar, pulls off yet another jaw-dropping feat on the track. In the Azerbaijan Grand Prix of 2022, Max's Red Bull team finished in first and second place, with Max leading the charge and his teammate Sergio Perez trailing behind a hefty 21 points in the World Championship. At the start of the race, it was Sergio who took the lead and seemed to have control of the situation, but it was only a matter of time before Max would make his move. After a tense head-to-head battle that had spectators on the edge of their seats, Max finally made his move on the entrance into the 15th lap, leaving Sergio stunned and trailing in his wake. 2. Max Verstappen vs Sergio Perez in the 2022 Spanish F1 Grand Prix. The Dutch sensation secured his fourth victory of the 2022 season at the Spanish Grand Prix in Montmello, catapulting him to the top of the F1 standings, but it wasn't an easy ride for Max. His teammate Sergio Perez had been leading the charge and appeared to have the upper hand going into the race, but Max wasn't about to let that deter him. With lightning-fast reflexes and nerves of steel, he executed a perfect overtaking maneuver on lap 49 that left the competition in the dust. It was a clean and calculated move that showcased Max's unparalleled driving prowess, and it left his competitors in awe. Sergio Perez had to settle for second place behind his teammate, with George Russell, Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton rounding out the top 5. 1. Max victory at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. Some drivers need a full season to get up to speed with their new team, but not Max Verstappen. When he made the move to Red Bull Racing, he wasted no time in making his mark on the sport. In his first race for the team, Max accomplished what drivers could only dream of. He won, and not just any win, but the kind of win that makes history. At just 18 years old, he became the youngest race winner ever, breaking records and leaving the competition in awe. Of course, luck was on his side with the two Mercedes drivers crashing out at the start, but that didn't diminish the magnitude of Max's achievement. He had a huge amount to do, and he did it all perfectly, looking remarkably comfortable in a brand new car to fend off the Ferrari of Raikkonen. What's even more impressive is that Max had only spent 2 days in the car prior to the race. For most drivers, that kind of inexperience would be a major hurdle to overcome, but Max was undaunted. He was as quick as his teammate Ricciardo, defended perfectly against Raikkonen, and handled a huge amount of pressure with incredible poise. It was clear from that first race that Max was destined for greatness, and he certainly lived up to that promise in the first years since. With countless wins and podium finishes under his belt, he's become one of the sport's most dominant and exciting drivers. What is your favourite moment of Max Verstappen's brilliance? Let us know in the comments section below.